12 o'clock, not even really hitting 60.
You love it. You know what? Actually, I kind of didn't mind it today either.
Yeah.
It's nice.
To your point, it literally is October today. Now
Right.
It just feels like, okay, this is where we should be.
It makes sense for 2 days, and then it will stop making sense again, because that's how our weather is here in Maine. Let's have a look outside. 62 in Wells, 62 in Portland, but many of us, most of us, in the 50s here, as Brian noted, in the middle of the day. We'll get a little bit warmer than this, but not much. 50 in Rangeley, 55 in Millinocket, 52 in Fort Kent, sitting at 58 in Bangor. It's comfortable enough there. Good deal of sunshine, but there's more clouds than there was yesterday, for example. Cumulus clouds coming in from the north here. And so when you get into one of these clouds, that's when it starts to feel really cool, because you've got the cooler temperatures plus a lack of sunshine. And that's when it starts to feel very much like October. A couple systems offshore, as we noted. 2 tropicals, 1 ex-tropical and 1 currently still. They're going to miss, but there's enough wave action here that we do have a high surf advisories. You know, I mentioned earlier, they do these year round. So it's not a matter of whether or not you're going to be in the water, but I always think of them as more impactful if people are going to be at the beach swimming, which I would sincerely doubt today. But there'll be some waves of 5 to 8 feet and some rip currents, and that's why we have those in effect. So the rest of today is good. We do have some gusty winds. They were gusting to about 20, 25 miles an hour last check out of the north-northeast, so that adds a little bite to the air. The wind actually helps us a bit tonight, because we could be even colder than this if the winds would totally flatten out, but they likely won't. I still think we're in the 30s though, along the coastline tomorrow morning, upper 30s, and then 30s elsewhere and some 20s into Rangeley, Berlin, New Hampshire, and Caribou, Fort Kent area. Tomorrow's another bright and cool day. I think it's sunnier than today, and it's also less windy, so the wind won't be as much of a factor. It'll probably play as a little bit of a nicer day. And we start to transition back into some warmer conditions on Friday, upper 60s to around 70 degrees, which is, believe it or not, above average by a decent margin this time of the year, just by the numbers, when our average high is in the mid-60s, and eventually by the end of the weekend in the low 60s is your high temperature. So there's that high in place, moves out of the way, get into the warm sector over the weekend. Saturday looks mild. It looks really mild Sunday, Monday, perhaps into Tuesday of next week, as we stay in that warm front southwest flow. We have to do it in less than 12 hours of daylight, but I think we'll be in the 80s in quite a few spots on Sunday and into Monday, which is impressive, again, given the daylight situation. So looking at the upper air pattern, what you're looking for here really broadly is oranges and yellows kind of moving into the state. And you can see it on Sunday and Monday. That's a really nice ridge look to it. Sometimes we find a way to mess it up here in Maine. We have a good synoptic pattern, but we'll have fog or onshore flow. In this case, it looks like what you see is what you get. You'll have this strong ridge and temperatures will be warm Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A front comes through on Wednesday. That resets us. And looking at the long range, it may reset us for good. So if you like 80, then enjoy it on Sunday and Monday, because I'm not sure where we're going from there. Or I am, but I just don't want to tell you. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the low 80s, and you can see us really drop off when that front comes through on Wednesday, and it looks like we'll have a hard time recovering from that. Whoa, watch out.
Lift your feet.
You gotta lift those, a little draggy. Yeah. Wait, do you remember when I got those new running shoes?
You struggled with them.
I got these Brooks running shoes because everybody told me they were great, and I liked them, but I basically was just stumbling around this office for like a week straight. With the
you want to say it was the shoes.
It was not good.
We still wonder.
It got better. Anyways, no rain until probably next Wednesday is our next chance of rain. We'll get a new drought monitor tomorrow. I mean, it's probably not going to be great.
Right.
We did we'd had rain, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make a huge difference. We'll keep an eye on that.
So our next chance coincides with the drop in temperature.
It doesn't. Like I said, looking at the long range, who knows? But when you see a cliff in like mid-October, you may never climb back up that cliff.
Till May.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Keith, thank you.